everybody. I'm going live today. I've been in the garden, so don't look at my nails, will you, because I haven't even painted them or anything. I've just come out of the garden, no lippy on, nothing, and I thought, I have been so busy on my latest project, and I thought, I know, I'll just come live as I am and just take a break from what I've been doing. So, what have I been doing? This is my first book, Latch Hook Crochet for Beginners. I don't know whether that comes back to front for you, but this is often the case. Sometimes it's correct and sometimes it's not. But here we go. This is book one. And I've managed to put together a series of books, book 2 and book 3. I've been working on these so hard. I'm really up to here with it. I just need to get them online and get them so people can actually see what it's all about. The second book that I did is this one, how to make a face using 2 stitches. I'm sure this is coming the wrong way around. How to make a face with using 2 stitches. And this book I think is a little bit light, and so there's an opportunity for me to put it online again. There's an offer on, so I thought, right, if I can put this on again, make it as part of a series. So that's going to be book 2, and it'll look similar. I hope it's going to look similar, so that the 3 books can look like a series of books that which we can use for beginners crochet. We've got book 1, and then there'll be book 2 and book 3. So book 3, there's a lot more projects to follow in book 3. So yeah, I'm going to leave that as a surprise for now. I might come back and talk about book 3 at some future day. But at the moment, I'm going to talk about book 2, which is the remake of this one. And I'm introducing in this book the 2 bridges method. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I might even do a little demo. And what it is that you can not just make faces with 2 stitches like these 2 faces here. This is perhaps, you can see here, this has got some chain and slip stitch all around each, in a dark colour, all around each part of motif in the face. Whereas this one hasn't got that black line. I like to put the black line round sometimes, but this is an easy way to do it. So that's what you can do. You can make faces, but you can also go on from there. And in this next book that I've done, book 2, it goes on to say that you can do other things. This is a picture of an owl that my sister made for me. And how lucky she was doing it. I said, well, look, you can do this. She's an expert crocheter, but she'd never done 2-stitch crochet before. So I said, here's a challenge for you. See if you can make something with 2 stitches. And this is what she came up with. I think it's fabulous. And of course, you just start with the easy circle and do chain and slip stitch around it till you've got these bigger circle. And that's the way it sort of progresses. I made a ship, a little ship, but the projects that you can do are just endless if you want to have a go at doing it. There's no pattern. It's all free-form crochet, or freestyle, call it what you will, but you just use 2 stitches with this bridges method that I have put together, and I'll show you now how it works, the bridges method. We start with just a couple of rows, and these are the rows, and I think it's probably obvious to you that these are like little bridges. Okay, so I call it the 2 bridges method, and in that we could have it as a bracelet, and in that little bracelet there's just the 2 colours, and the blue is the bridges. Now this part of the method, if you like, is the most difficult part, and I would say if you've got students and you're teaching this in a class and your children already know how to do a chain, they've done lots of them, they do get quite addicted to making chain bracelets, and so if they've done lots of them, it might be a good idea for you to actually provide the first row for them, or the first 2 rows like this, and you'll see why in a moment or two when I show you what you can do. Let's have a look. So what you can do, now you can imagine your child or your student. I mean, I've done it with 16-year-olds, so they're not all youngsters and little ones. So what you can do is start off with your slip knot on your hook, and then, because the idea is to hook in under the bridges, you can straight away start with hooking under a bridge. Okay, that's why you're doing it for them, because you're making it a little bit easier. It's harder to do that first row, but once they can get started hooking under bridges, then they're away, literally. So you hook under the bridge, right, and we're using the red yarn to get the right length there, which is the one we're using, and you make your first slip stitch there on the top of that blue bridge. Okay, I'll show you that. Can you see the first slip stitch is on top of the blue, and then you're going to do in this case 5 chain. So we're going to do 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your children are now quite used to doing 5 chain or however many chain they want. So we've come to the next bridge. So we've gone in the first one, so we go hook under the bridge, pick up your loop, your yarn from the other side and pull it through to make a slip knot, a slip stitch, and make 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and under the next bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's chain and slip stitch under the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So you're making another row of bridges, the red ones this time. Okay, and so that's all that up, so hopefully you can see it. Like that. Okay, here's one I did earlier, Blue Peter style. Who remembers Blue Peter? So you can see with this one, I hooked along, started on the top of the first bridge here with my slip knot on my hook, and then done 5 chain and under the next bridge, and 5 more chain and under the next bridge, all the way along. And then I turned it round, and there are now bridges on the other side on top of the foundation row that I did earlier. So now I've started with the pink on top of the bridge, and we've got another row, and that could be a bracelet, or we could simply carry on. And if you do the next row, it's up to you where you start it. You could start it on top of the pink, or you could start it at the end. And if you start it at the end, you can do 5 chain at the ends. If you hook into one of the yarns at the end, do 5 chain, and you can come onto the top of the pink and carry on that way. Turn it over and do the same on the other side until this gets bigger. And of course, if that's quite wide, you can just carry on with that and do what you want. You can go all the way round. You could come around the bottom here on the pink, come onto the end, then join onto the green, and go all the way around with the same colour. And then from there on, it's just about experimenting, and that's just a great way to get started. Now, I call it the 2 bridges method. I call it the two stitch bridges method, and it's the bridges method that we're looking at here. And this particular piece here, instead of doing those 5 chain and slip stitch, I've only done 3 chain and slip stitch. And if you look at it, it's beginning to make a fabric. This one's quite lacy. You can call it a fabric if you like, but it's quite lacy with holes in, but this is a little bit more advanced from that, in that if your students have had plenty of practice, then they should be able to start this one off. And the foundation, after doing the foundation row, you put your line of blue in here, and you simply you do 3 chain and miss 2 out. So it's 3 chain and miss 2, 3 chain and miss 2, all the way along to make it even. So that's how your fabric is starting to appear. All this is in the second book, so if your students are new to this, they can have a go at making something out with this idea of having a bridges method to make a fabric. So that's what today's, I think I've come to the end of this video, certainly about what I wanted to talk about. And it is live, so I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to say goodbye and go through all the things that we need to say at the end of a video. And this is, of course, you need to press the subscribe. That's the most important thing. And I do like to get to know people who are watching and what you maybe got out of the video. So it's really good if you comment. Do comment and say what you think about new ideas like this and the new books that I'm going to bring out, the 3 books that I'm going to bring out, which I'm hoping to get into schools as Crochet Art, and that would be absolutely superb. So if you know any teachers who might be interested in this video, then please tell them about it. And of course, this is the one where I've put some exciting news. I'm excited. I'm really excited to get these books up there, and I've worked so hard on them. It's the technology that is so difficult. I'm using a program called Canva, and let me know, do you use Canva? It's great, but when you start making books using Canva, it's another ball game. So yeah, press the bell that notifies you when I put another video on. And I haven't put a video on for a while, have I? So hopefully, yeah, do tell me if you like this video. Make a comment. Oh, and there's a like. Yes, press that like. That gets more people watching. Of course, it's all to do with algorithms on YouTube, so that would be useful for me as well. So I'm going to say goodbye. Do all those things for me. Join me on my Facebook group, Crochet Art. And if you've watched any of the earlier videos, you may be a bit confused, because this particular group, let me know if you were ever in it, this particular group was called Easy Platform Crochet for Beginners, which is such a mouthful. So I renamed it Crochet Art. So join me on my Facebook group Crochet Art, and I'll see you there. Until the next one, bye for now. Oh, this is the hard bit, turning you off. Let's see where we can go.